Welcome to City of First Cremation. My name is Jeremy Geiger. This is my business partner, Kim Rose. Today we're going to kind of talk to you about what a day in our life looks like, or a week of our life kind of looks like. I know some of you will probably be completely alarmed. Others might go, I can relate to that, and I live a similar kind of work schedule. So what we do daily is funeral service, and funeral service is a wide variety of things. We could be meeting with families on an at-need basis that need to make funeral arrangements for a loss they just had. It could even be pre-planning. We see lots of people come in and pre-plan. Sometimes they give us a little heads up and they say, hey, we would like to come talk to you, and we set an appointment. But then a lot of times we have people that just come walking in, and it's something they've been wanting to address and talk about, and they just walk in and we're able to answer their questions, show them what their options are, and then set an appointment where we can actually go into more detail with them.
Sometimes it can be people wanting to know about pets.
About our pet cremation. Mm-hmm. We also have families that come in and talk to us about monuments. We have organizations that also reach out to us that are looking for partnerships or support in the death industry, such as Widow's Purse or Grief Share. Mm-hmm. There are other things out there. So our day-to-day is we answer our own phones. Kim takes a couple of nights during the week. I take a couple of nights during the week. And we kind of piggyback on each other. So if one of us misses, I'll get the other one. We typically are in the office from 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. We will be here on a Saturday and Sunday. If you need us, we'll meet you outside of those hours. Really, we're approachable at your time frame. We just set those office hours for ourselves so then we can be with our families. The funeral industry is a big part of our life. It follows us every day of our life, whether we're not feeling well, on vacation, or just off for the evening and it's Kim's night to answer the phones. Outside of answering the phones and being here, our hours are 24 hours a day in reality. Do the phones ring all the time? No. But we take advantage of those times where the phones aren't ringing, where we can try to maybe set the appointments for the pre-needs that are needing help getting their arrangements in place, or working with those families on the monuments. We're seeing a lot of families come back to us after the cremation's been complete to be able to get other things to honor their loved ones, to memorialize them, such as the jewelry or the miniature urn keepsakes.
There's not a rush at the time. They have some time, they can go a couple months. Cremation, you're not in a hurry, so they have the time to decide what keepsakes they want. Yeah. And then they come back.
Absolutely. It's kind of, it's a beautiful thing to let the families have that time to process the loss, make a decision on what that final piece of memorialization is for that person, or the type of urn that it is. So really our hours are all over the place. Yeah. We're available at all times. If you see us out and about and you got a question, still feel free to reach out to us. We express that to every one of our families. We like to know that you've got your question answered, or you've got that uneasy feeling addressed and it's not as bad as you thought that it was. So just call, reach out to us. We're there. We're always there. Other things that we see hour-wise would be our weekends. We try not to maybe be in the offices because we are spending that time with our families, or we're working with other organizations like you heard me say, Widow's Purse or Grief Share. We are trying to help support our community in these difficult losses. These losses could be either from illness, addiction, it could be from a homicide or a car accident. You never know where that person's loss came from or how impactful it is on that person. So you've got to be extremely sensitive to those needs. And it is tough. It's definitely tough to maybe pull yourself out of this. Yeah, you have your own wants and needs to go and do and feel, but it's a calling for us here at City of First that we wouldn't have a second thought of saying, hey, I've got to not go fishing right now. Like, I'm going to be 3 hours late. Betty just came in. Her husband died 2 weeks ago, and she now wants to get an urn. She wants to talk about it. And she's brought pictures and is sharing more of their life story with us. And those pictures she didn't even know that we could have put on the urn for her. Yeah. So then it's even more personalized for them at that. We're real big on making sure that it's personalized for your want, what their desire or what their wishes may have been at the time of their death. Some services that we kind of offer here at City of First. We do the pre-arranging, we do at-need, we do cremation, we do traditional earth burials where they're in a casket. We do other things in regards to cremation, such as pet cremations. A pet is a wide term to kind of use because
we do all sorts of pets.
Yeah, I think most people would think like, oh, my cat or dog.
Yeah.
But I mean, we see fish and lizards and
Parrots.
Birds and hamsters and rats and it's
a bearded dragon.
A bearded dragon. I mean, a squirrel. I mean, it's interesting the things that people end up with a bond to.
Parakeet. We've had a parakeet.
We have. So
Polu was her name.
Yeah, Polo. The services that are offered at the funeral home may not always be what you think. They offer a great variety of things that kind of go hand in hand with the funeral service. Yes, we're here to help you with that loss, to get the body taken care of, whether it's cremated or just a direct burial or an earth burial with ceremony. We look at things outside that. So we're always here. Your other funeral homes are going to do the same thing. You just have to be willing to ask and never be embarrassed or uncertain about asking the question of, hey, could I watch you guys dress Grandma?
And we get that question a lot. This might be a weird question.
Yeah.
This is probably a stupid question, or this is an odd question, or I'm embarrassed to ask this, or there's always those questions. It's like, it's not, that's not a stupid question. It's, feel comfortable asking whatever you want.
Right. And I think that's very important. Us as funeral directors, we are reading your clues and signals. We've been through this enough with families. We have certain questions that we ask that clue us into other details, like, did you bring clothing for Mom? No, I haven't picked it out yet. I needed to go through her closet. Or, yeah, I kind of grabbed some things on the way out. I didn't know if this was appropriate. Can I see Mom's nails to see if it matches the shirt? Well, at that point, I know you're wanting to see Mom, and you may be wanting to kind of put that shirt on her, put that scarf, put the hair clip in, whatever it may be. Just ask. It's so important. I feel that a lot of funeral homes, at least in my experiences coming through, we want you involved, but boy, do we not want you involved. And I've always been passionate that it's important that you are involved as much as you're willing to allow us to let you be involved. I'm probably one that would say, yeah, come on back. Let's go ahead and embalm Grandma and see what you think. I know it may not be approachable for you, but you can say, I would be curious to help get Grandma ready. And then those questions would then lead into, what would that be for you? What do you think that help is? Is it help getting that casket opened up and prepared for her body? Is it getting grandma's clothes picked up from the dry cleaners or picking out a new outfit? Is it coming and styling the hair, doing the makeup or nails? Or is it truly asking to see the embalming process? I've not ever had that yet. I know it'll come one day. I'm not sure how I'll answer that just yet, but I definitely like the drive of that person's want and desire to be around funeral service, have that finality, and
They do ask about the process, though.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of people do.
Absolutely.
A lot of families.
Important to know what that process is, because that answers your own internal questions.
Yeah.
Because we all know we're going to die, and what's that look like to us? I mean,
Well, we had that little boy who was so curious about his grandma.
Yeah.
And he kept pulling her shirt down at the funeral.
Yeah.
What's this? And, oh, grandma. And I was like, now let's put her shirt back.
Yeah.
He was so sweet.
He was extremely sweet.
Yeah.
And he was extremely young, and
Yeah.
I envy that curiosity, because that's what our nature is in our as a human. That's what it is for us to ask those questions. But our society has put a negative spin on funeral service and death, that it's something we shouldn't ask about, but we should. It's extremely important. So the conclusion of this topic of what our days look like, we kind of talked about what we offer and everything. Are there any other things that you feel service-wise? I know we do the tribute videos, the memorial folders that people always ask for. And it's funny, we call them a memorial folder, but we end up getting told, no, that pamphlet that you hand out, and that's the memorial folder.
Or the bulletin.
Or the bulletin. So yeah, there's all those things that are available that you would maybe be used to or accustomed to at your traditional funeral homes that we offer here at City of First. We are new. It is a little different feel than maybe that traditional setting, because it's not so traditional for us here. But we offer all those same things.
Yeah, we do.
So we did have a question from user DD8OS3SY.
3Y.
3Y.
Do you offer pet cremations or burials? Yes, we do offer pet cremations. It goes by the tier. So, depending on the size of your pet, or the weight. So, but yes, we do offer pet cremations here. It includes an urn. We do laminated bookmarks, ink prints, paw prints, or claw prints.
Or claw, yeah, with your
We've had to do some
reptile.
claw prints. Nose prints if we can.
Yeah, Polo's was a no-go.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't.
But we did get her
beat.
claw,
Yeah.
which was cute. Fur clippings, if you want, and we include those in the laminated obituaries. We've done some
Really,
clay prints.
that pet cremation side, I'm going to say it goes from the little tiny lizard or bird all the way to that horse.
To the horse.
We've got a family we're working with. They've got a horse that's about to go down,
Yeah.
and we're able to provide that service for
Right.
them, and they get to experience the company coming out and respectfully getting their horse handled and cremated and returned back to them in a dignified manner, because their last experience was terrible for them.
Oh, we did a potbelly pig. Lizzie.
We did Lizzie, yeah, potbelly pig.
We did her snout.
Yeah.
Casting that turned out really good. They were really happy with that. And they actually did art glass, but
Yeah.
they did a heart.
They did a heart, and with Lizzie, she was the potbelly pig, and her best
Yeah.
friends was a boxer and a cat.
Yeah.
The cat wasn't so much a friend of Lizzie as
Right.
much as Lizzie was a friend of the cat. But they ended up incorporating all three of their
We
pets
commingled all their
into that
cremated
art
remains.
glass, so that way they were always together.
Yeah,
So
it was really sweet.
it was pretty neat. It was a really neat family. We got asked, did it smell like bacon? I don't know. That's up on top of the roof and it's like 1900 degrees. I'm not willing to give it a smell to find out. So,
But she was really sweet.
She was extremely sweet. So
her hair, what would you call a potbelly pig's hair?
Extremely coarse.
Yeah. So when I did her laminations, I had to stick that through the laminator like 5 times.
I believe it because, I mean, it was
But
almost
it was
like
really neat.
thick, like wire brush.
It was like a wire brush.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It was a very thick, coarse, dense bristle.
Yeah.
This is about the only way to describe what that was.
But her snout print was so good.
Oh, it was.
In her cast.
Yeah.
I mean, we love our pets just as much.
We do, and they're very close to us. They see and know
And we
without
love
judgment
them. Yeah.
what we do and say and feel. They pick up on our feelings. They're probably more perceptive to our feelings than any other person because they just can read that off of us better. And I'm sure there's pheromones and smells that come off whether you're happy, sad, or depressed, and they can sense and feel that off of you as well. So our pets are extremely important, and that was a reason why we did include and incorporate with our cremation company the pet side of it.
So everything that is available for a human, it's available for your pet too.
Yeah.
As far as our keepsakes.
Absolutely, and you can get even more customized keepsake urns to look like your pet if you want. So, I mean,
Jewelry,
the options are truly limitless
little
out
mini
there.
urns.
So that really kind of encompasses what a day is here. Some of our days or weeks start Monday through Wednesday. It's really picking up the pieces from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because it usually will fall apart and we get really, really busy.
Today happens to be Saturday, and we have a family coming in later today.
Yeah, we've had multiple
So-
families. We've had to take a couple of breaks. You may see some of those transitions, but it is a busy time for us. Wasn't necessarily so busy starting out our week because we were going through spring break, but boy, did it get busier through the end of the week. So it's interesting. It kind of goes through an ebb and flow. If you may have an easygoing weekend, better hold on Monday, Tuesday, because it's probably going to be an interesting one. If things are kind of busy over the weekend, well, you may be able to count on Monday, Tuesday being okay, and just you got a lot of families to see and paperwork to wrap up. So that way you can get your cremations and burials in line and ready for services as needed at that end of the week. The days are interesting. They're never the same for us here. And it's always been that way for me in funeral service. Even when I had an opportunity to work for an extremely large firm, yes, my goals were to predominantly meet families and work funeral ceremonies and visitations. I did a lot of paperwork as well, insurance claims, but my day was never the same because I may walk in and on another one of our locations, there may be 2 or 3 sick people over there, and they may be more on the prep side of it. So they don't need directors working services. They need you in the back area. I've had other opportunities where maybe it's been a slow week and we've planned for cleanup around the funeral home, and we're coming out of winter, going into spring, so it would be getting out maybe the flower pots and going out to the flower gardens or beds and getting the soil turned over and going to the garden centers and picking out some flowers and kind of coming up with
we're getting into that
color theme for the outside. Some of the other downtimes are cleaning up around the funeral home so that way you're prepared for the next thing to come at you. Really, our days are rather interesting and not too boring. If you do stop in and see us and you catch us maybe at what we would consider a boring moment, and that's sitting at our desk watching something on Netflix or
swamp
Amazon.
people.
Yeah, I tend to watch Swamp People, or I watch a couple of Western shows too. It's really a very small portion of my day. I'm not a slacker. I got about 5 minutes to do that, and I'm going to enjoy every last second of that 5 minutes to watch whatever it is they had to say. So our days are awesome. It really is. If you like a variety, if you like helping families or people that are in need and are hurting, funeral service may be an interest for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a funeral director level. We have people from all avenues of life help us through funeral service, whether it's the car attendant parking cars outside, the admin person that may answer the phone and greet you, or it could be the actual funeral director who sits down with you and helps you with the arrangement. It's a variety of tasks that we perform on a daily basis. So
do you think we should find out what people want to hear from us next?
Sure. What do they want to hear next?
I don't know. They should
probably leave a comment, shouldn't they? Yeah, that's always important, is leaving a comment, because I have shared. I do go back, I print them off, I save them. I think it's pretty cool that you guys are watching and listening. It's always been something that's been important to me to share my story and what I do. And it's taken a little bit of convincing to get Kim to come upon the show and be here, but I know she shares the same thing as well. And I know her friends enjoy the stories that she shares of what her day looks like, or how terrible was the car accident. And I mean, it's kind of nice to be able to have those that we can talk to about that. So,
I was thinking that maybe we could do a live show.
Oh, well, that would be something we would have to work towards.
Yeah.
That could possibly be, but I don't know the logistics of that. That would be a fun one. Maybe even have an opportunity where we could set a date and just let people come in and maybe be an audience. I don't know. I like some of these neat ideas that you're coming up with.
And we're working on possibly having a guest in for a testimonial with a family that we've served a few times.
I've had a couple of people ask to be on the show. I've got a student who's going through the mortuary program who would like to kind of share her aspect of what she's seen of the industry, what her education has provided her to this point. She's getting real close to graduating, which is pretty exciting for her. I know I have some friends that say they would like to maybe hop on and kind of share like our relationship, what it's like to be friend with the funeral director.
My friends want to, but he thinks it's going to be a little crazy. So
I think that it could happen. It just I think we need to have those conversations about being careful of what stories you may want to share or that we've shared with you.
Yeah.
Because we do like to give discretion to those, because we are dealing with an extremely sensitive topic. But yeah, I think there's some different ideas out there. So please, we're asking you, leave us comments. We want to know what you guys want to hear, what you want to see. It's always exciting come Wednesday when we get to see the new drop. Kim's usually the one that I hear the organ playing, and she's got it going in the other room.
And then I turn it off.
And I haven't had a chance to catch up on it yet. So I'll watch them in the evening when I get home. But it's always exciting to hear from you listeners and you viewers how much you're enjoying the show. So this does conclude our services here at City of First Cremation and Funeral Services. I'm Jeremy Geiger. This is my business partner, Kim Rose. And like we've mentioned in past episodes and this one, please like, follow, subscribe the Kokomo Lantern on the YouTube platform. That way you are able to leave us a comment, so that way I can gather those. Feel free to reach out to the Lantern or City of First Cremation with any questions, concerns, and we will see you on the next episode.